Respect. This is such an important topic, and we're going to explore that on this episode of Out of the Box. Welcome back to Out of the Box, the series where unconventional thinking leads to extraordinary living. I'm your host, Elizabeth Miner, founder and CEO of Thrive This Day, and I'm also a life coach. One of the things I focus on is respect, self-respect, and making sure that you're getting the respect that you so deserve. It's a form of self-respect, let's be totally honest. So one of the examples that I want to share with you just happened not too long ago. You see, I was meeting somebody for an event. We had planned meeting and we were just going to have a casual conversation, but we had set a time and we had made a location and a time, and that was great. Earlier in the day, there was a confirmation email exchange. Everything was set, time, place, everything. So I was there, and I was there 5 minutes or so early, just so that I wouldn't be late. And as I was sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, it was 12 minutes past the time that we were suggesting we would meet, or that we had confirmed we were going to meet. And the gentleman arrived. And I looked at him and I said, you had 3 minutes before I was leaving. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. I had this meeting. It just ran a little bit late. And I was like, okay. And you know what? That happens. I get it. But I didn't get a call. I didn't get a text. I didn't get anything. And so I said to this gentleman, I said, if I were Oprah, would you have been late? And unfortunately for him, he goes, oh, well, hell no. And I was like, well, listen, I'm Oprah. And he looked at me and he laughed and then he smiled and he said, oh, I get it. I said, look, I may not be Oprah, but here's the thing. You don't even know Oprah and you know me, but you'd give her a different sense of respect by being on time, by probably even being early, than you would somebody you knew. I deserve better, and this can't happen again because I will not wait the 15 minutes that I did today. So for me, more important than teaching somebody else how I wanted to be treated, it was me standing in that space saying, hey, look, I may not be Oprah, but you know what? I deserve the same treatment as I would if I were Oprah. And what makes Oprah any better than me? And what makes me any less good than you because I showed up on time? You see, I've had a problem with time almost all of my life. I was one of those people that was always late to everything. And way back when I was very, very little, I had to go to the doctor's a lot regularly. And when we were at the doctor's office, at the pediatrician's office, we would sit in the waiting room and my mother would read a storybook to me. The storybook she read to me was The Pokey Little Puppy. And she read it to me all the time because she called me the Pokey Little Puppy. And I just lived right into that all of my life until one day I was at home. I was in my late teens and I was getting ready to go out and meet my boyfriend, his brother, and his brother's wife. And I was on my way out the door and the phone rang. And I'm a little bit older than the days of the cell phone with us. So I had a phone at my home and I took the call. And it was a friend in distress. And so, of course, I took the call. I sat with them. I helped them work through whatever it was that was going on with them. And when I was done, I got off the phone and I headed off to my boyfriend's house. Well, I got there and he was mad. Oh my God, he was so mad. And he told me that I was being disrespectful. And I was like, no, I wasn't being disrespectful. I had a friend, she needed help. He was like, yeah, but you told us you would be here and we would be able to go do something. And now we can't do that thing at the time we were planning to do it because you hadn't arrived. And that now says that we were less important than your friend. I was like, no, you're not less important, but they just called. And he's like, uh-huh. I was like, ooh, okay. So whether or not that was the case, it's how I made them feel. It didn't mean that it was fact. It just meant that's how that made them feel. And that's not to say that it can't happen, that you can't have a change of plans. You can't have something come up that's an emergency that you must deal with. But what it does say is when you deal with that, the people that you were supposed to meet deserve the respect of being notified you'll be late. Be notified that you're on your way. Be notified about there's been a change. It's unavoidable or it is something that I must address at this moment, right? So it's not to say that these things can't happen, but it is respect for people. And frankly, time is the absolute most valuable thing for anybody. And it's something that you cannot get. You can't buy it. You can't rent it. You can't manufacture it. So it is the one thing that people can't get back. So if you're wasting somebody's time because they are waiting for you, I'm going to say that's really disrespectful. And if somebody else is waiting for you and you are not respecting their time, I'm going to tell you, that's a really big deal. And so this is not something that, was natural for me. This is something I've had to work on. But it was in the perspective of seeing being on time or notifying people if I couldn't be on time, or being early, or being present, and using time as such the precious commodity that it was, is an act of respect for the person you are with. And so I'm going to encourage you to think about that. Think about everybody you're making an appointment with is as important as the president or Oprah, or fill in the blank for that amazing person that you would never dream of being late for, that you would prepare beyond all measures to be ready for that conversation, to be ready for that negotiation, to be ready to be completely present. Phone off, phone in the other room, wherever the phone could be, someplace other than giving direct attention to the person you're with. That is respect. That is a gift, and that is a gift you give to yourself, and it is a gift that you can give others. So I hope that this kind of resonates for you, and I hope that if you are somebody on either side of this equation, it gives you just a little something to keep in mind and use for your ability to show respect for those you are with and actually demand respect for yourself. People should treat you like they're coming to meet Oprah or Richard Branson or whomever. So that's my thoughts for you today, and you know the drill. If this message could be beneficial to somebody that you know, please do go ahead and forward this and subscribe and hit that little notification bell so these end up in your inbox every week when they drop, so you just have it sitting there waiting for when you have the time to take a listen to these and get a little nugget of inspiration. So until I come back at you next week, keep on going after that extraordinary life that you so deserve. Ciao.